going to talk to Courtney about the stresses of getting a new job and taking care of her young son. So, Courtney, tell me a little bit about yourself.
I'm 21. I'm a single mother. I had my son at 19. He's 2. I was in the military when I got pregnant with him, and I got out on a single parent pregnancy plan. And now I'm here, and I plan to go to college in January.
So, a lot's went on over the last couple of years with having a new child, being in the Army, getting out, and now you're trying to pursue another job.
Right. And it's more difficult than you think. You figure having a military background would be like very good on a resume and everything, but looking back now, it's very hard to get a job in general, and you figure your background will help you out, but it's very stressful. It doesn't help that much.
Really? And how does that make you feel?
It makes me feel not so great because the military is supposed to open up opportunities for your future, and those opportunities are fading away because the economy is getting so hard with trying to find a job.
What options have you explored?
There's always veteran sites to sign up for future jobs for veterans, and there's also other programs out there, but it's very limited in helping others.
Okay, and how do you go about utilizing the one that may be right for you?
Um, it's just who you know pretty much these days and what turns you're willing to take. And being a single mother, I'm very limited with my time because I don't want to leave my child in daycare all night and all day. Most jobs that are hiring are looking for overnights, and especially with the city that I live in, jobs here are very, very limited. There's not very many businesses here, and if it is, they're hiring some odd hours, and it doesn't fit into my schedule with being a single mother and raising my son.
So the whole issue is basically feeling that you have a military background and you feel like you should be able to utilize that, and it's not going so well, and then you have issues with child care and finding a new job, and it's kind of put you in a stressful situation.
Right. It's very difficult.
Okay, so how do you plan on going to the next step?
Well, I've explored some daycares and their hours. That's the first step. That's what I am going to plan to do first. I'm going to go see about assistance with daycare. I'm going to explore my options for daycare and the hours, and then I'm going to put in more job applications. And after I do that, hopefully I get an interview, and the daycare that I choose, hopefully it stays open later, because jobs aren't going to accept you in your application if you're limited with timing around here.
Okay, so how do you feel going back to work after you've had your child and getting adjusted to everything?
Going back to work is going to be very, very different. But I'm looking forward to it because being cooped up in the house and with my child and him going through terrible twos, it's going to be an exciting experience to actually get out there, see who's out there, get out there and work and make extra money, or just money in general to pay utilities or whatever I need to pay, and provide my son with more than what he has. It's going to be very exciting.
So terrible twos.
Yeah.
And when you say terrible twos, is that going to worry you any about trying to maintain and pursue a job?
Not really, because I know it's just a phase, and I know it has to deal with a lot of parenting too. But actually, I think it will be good for him to actually go to daycare and be around children, because where he is the only child and not many children in his neighborhood, and he don't have a big family of children that he can just go around every day. I think that he's going to be able to learn stuff from that, and I'll be very happy when he goes.
And what kind of career are you pursuing? Have you decided what kind of job that you would like to have?
Yeah, like right now I just want something small and maybe part-time. It doesn't matter. Just the money really matters, and the new opportunities and the connections I can find with other people is going to matter. But career-wise, long term, I want to do radiology. I'm planning to go to Bluefield State in January, and first I'm going to work on my 2-year degree, and then hopefully I get a job while I'm maintaining keep on going to college for the 4. So I want to do a career in radiology. And I
So
think,
you're basically starting out small. You're taking small steps. You're a mother. You got everything, situated with that. Now you want to pursue a job, and once you get adjusted to that, then you want to expand, and then you want to go to college and keep exploring, expanding on your skills. Is that correct?
exactly.
Okay. And what has been the biggest challenge that you faced so far?
Just maintaining the household under being a single parent and the stresses within the home and the things that I have to do as a parent to actually get back out there and get myself and pick myself up on my feet and get everything situated for getting a job and whatnot. And just the whole daycare situation, finding the right job within the time I have and everything like that. Just picking myself up pretty much.
Okay. So how would you say that your support group is?
I have a very strong support group. My family stands behind me. They're going to be accepting to anything and help me overcome the little obstacles that are in my path, and they're going to try to give me advice to get through those obstacles, and they're going to give me that positive energy and the motivation that I need to pick myself back up. They're very caring, they're very supportive, and they want the best for me and my son. So.
That sounds great. So it seems like you have everything lined out, what you want to do, even though you find it stressful, which is natural. What challenges have you faced as far as just being a single parent?
Financial issues, it's pretty much, that is the main element of my stress is finance, and then we have learning to cope with being a single parent. I knew it was going to happen. That's why I'm not so down about it, but it's just for my son's sake. Every child, I think, needs a stable family, and even though he doesn't have that father figure or his father, whoever, like him being there or somebody being there for him, it's just going to be hard on him being a boy and not learning to do manly things. He's going to be more of a feminine male than a masculine male.
So do you have other people that may influence him to be that male figure that you want to have in his life?
Yes. Probably my little brother Caleb, because he is not that much older than him, and it could be somebody that he could look up to, and he likes to play with him and get along with him very well.
So it sounds like your support group is helping you as far as supporting your decisions, supporting your career, supporting your college.
Right.
It seems like you have a pretty good, strong support system.
Yes.
So when you start working, are you going to go full-time, part-time? Have you decided?
It doesn't matter, full-time or part-time. It's just amount of hours that they'd want to give me. I'll start out at anything and then work my way up. It just to prove that I can be a good worker and I can satisfy the business and maintain, being the good person that they can hire and be there for them and the job and the business and help out with everything.
And do you have any issues that may come up with a work schedule? Are you strictly open to whatever hours? Do you have certain hours that you're going to prefer? Have you handled that situation or faced it?
I faced it, thinking about it. It stresses me out and it does worry me. What if I do get a really good job and they want me to be there on their hours and what they want, but I'm afraid what if this isn't what the daycare is going to agree to, like to watch him. I'm afraid that I'm going to start a job and they're going to say, oh, well, we need you here for these hours, and then my daycare is not going to support those hours to watch him. That's what I'm facing. That's what I really stress about the most.
And being a single parent myself, I've also faced that, and I kind of explored other options, not only a daycare provider, but an in-home daycare provider.
Right.
Or I had a daycare provider that I took my child to that was outside of the daycare. Have you thought about doing something like that?
I've thought about that, but honestly, I think that maybe a daycare would be better for him because maybe they can teach him more things than what somebody in-home can. But then again, the in-home person, if they really want to work with the child and have patience to do that, I guess it's all in exploring who and where and everything like that also. It's just a lot to look into and explore and really sit down and think about as a parent what you're really going to do.
So it definitely seems like it's going to be a change of environment for you, your son. Do you think he will handle that well?
I think he will because he's the type of child that is just really passive in any of his emotions and the environments he's in. And as long as somebody's going to give him that attention that he needs, it won't stress me out so bad. But there will always be something in the back of my mind that is going to keep me on my job and keep that stress in me, because what if my child is not eating at the right time? What if he's hungry? What if I've thought that this was a good, stable daycare or person to be watching him, and it's totally wrong? I'm not there. I don't know what's going on. And the saying goes, nobody can watch your child better than you can. Nobody can care for them better than you. So it's always going to be there in the back of my head, what if? What if?
And that's natural. Do you feel like you'll be more comfortable once you establish a routine with a job and your son and having that trust? Do you think
Very.
that'll alleviate those what if thoughts?
Yes, and the more I get to know the person, the more I see him or take him to that person, if like he has an uneasy feeling about it or if he screams and cries wanting me, then I know something won't be right. I guess it's all a part of actually sitting down and talking to the person and making sure everything goes how it should be.
So you think if he cries, it automatically is going to reflect something negative that's going on with him?
He is attached to me, I guess, where we have been in the house so long together, but when I see something like he doesn't want to go to the person or shrugs him back, or my child's very, very like friendly, I guess, in a manner. He's very respectful and he's a very good kid. If he gets this uneasy feeling, then I'm going to feel uneasy because I'm going to share the same feelings as him because that's my child. He's pretty much part of me, and I have that communication with him to where I'm his mother that I can recognize these things.
Well, that's good that you're aware, and hopefully you won't have to, confront any of those issues or conflicts. Is there anything that's holding you back, like as far as a job? Is there any jobs that you want to apply for that you can't because of maybe your skills or qualifications? Even if that you do get a job, say you apply for a job and you get that job, is there any challenges that you face being a worker again after coming out of the home? Do you feel there's any stresses or anything that's going to be difficult for you?
Yeah, I think that, not getting back in the routine, but getting back on pace, finding my pace, finding where my head really is, being mentally able to get that pace back, get that physical, motivation and everything like that. Yeah, that's going to be like going back out into the work field. It's going to be a new, fresh start, and I'm just going to have to get everything back.
And how do you plan on facing the challenges that you incur along the way? Because it may be rocky at the beginning, or it may be smooth. Have you thought about those kind of situations?
Yeah, and I think having a military background and everything will help me, because in the military, at first, everything was rocky. You were put through the stress test the very first 3 weeks, 2 weeks, and if I could have got through that with my stress, then any other job is going to be like that the first few weeks. And I realized if I can get through the first few weeks, then everything will just start coming natural and it'll be stable and the environment will get easier and easier. And so will knowing who I'm working with, how they work, and be in a team, a group, and have that leadership as I should. I think it'll all fit together and it'll be easier as it goes.
So it'll resemble that construction as far as an infrastructure for you, the consistency, the structure of your environment, everything will reflect back to the Army, which even though you said you had challenges as far as the Army helping you get a job, but at least it's indirectly helping you maintain a job as far as skill sets.
Right.
Do you feel that's about right?
Right, exactly right, actually. It's built like a foundation around my life, and it's just like I can look back on that and realize the hard times and then put it into a small-time job. Like, that was a very big job for me, and I got through it like pie because the leadership, the people, everything you would have in a small job. You just gotta flip it around, think how you thought before, and use that motivation. Especially now that I have a son, it will definitely get me through everything.
Definitely. So, what kind of job did you have in the